Okay, it's almost here. MX25, the distro that I've been waiting for, that I've been holding out for. This is MX25, MX Linux, with the XFCE, the standard XFCE desktop interface that you're all used to if you've ever used MX before. Same layouts, power, logout, etc. top left, and the menu bottom left, with the categories on the right. One of the first things I change. Single click selection in Thunar by default. Hover and it selects it. Click once to open it. A lot of folk like that. I don't. That's another thing I change straight away. Other than that, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the beta 1. So not for everyday use, though they do intend the betas to update through to final release. So if you're really dead keen to try out MX25, you're safe to do so from the beta so far, unless they change their minds about it, if there's something groundbreakingly bad in it. But as is usual with MX Linux betas, so far it's fantastic. It's ready for the road, if you was to ask me. Now let me just close this window down because I've done the install. This is on the metal. It was released this morning European time, I guess last night in American time. So here it is, MX Linux blog, MX25 Infinity Beta 1 ISO is now available for testing purposes. So click that and it tells us the versions that you can get. Now there's a slight difference. There used to be just the standard XFCE and there used to be the AHS, Advanced Hardware Support XFCE release. There also used to be the KDE, which is by default advanced hardware support anyway, and then there's the Fluxbox. But now you can choose dedicated sysv init with, I would imagine, no systemd whatsoever, using their shims as workaround for software that require systemd backends. This one I'm running at the minute is the standard one, not the sysv init one, and I have to say the install process was simple and super quick, as is usual for MX. It's one of the quickest installs I've ever seen, except perhaps for PC Linux OS, which is also an incredibly quick install. It had no problem. This install had no problem installing on a UEFI secure boot machine because it is signed as Debian, which is fine. So doesn't matter what machine you've got, this will go on it. Lovely. I've opted to do the regular install using the whole disk, where it creates an EFI file, an EFI partition and an ext4 partition for the system, etc, etc. Like I say, went without a glitch. I've been playing with it for a few minutes, can't see a glitch at all. Like the wallpaper, that suggests to me infinity. It really does. I'm going to be corny and look at what other wallpapers it's got. Ooh, there's a few. That's okay, I guess. Don't know whether I would ever use that. That's pretty nice. Pretty calm. These are, I guess, the default XFCE walls, rather than the MX ones. That I like a lot. That I like a lot. Okay. What's this one? Yeah, very autumny. Right, so let's go to home. No. Where's backgrounds? Use a share backgrounds, shouldn't it be? Okay, so here we've got the MX ones. There, as you see, was the default one. Got some nice wallpapers. These are cool. And there's the infinity, of course. That's neat. That's very neat. That's really, really neat. I like that. I like that. Folded space. Lovely. Is that what they called it? Cosmic vase. Beyond. Oh, I'm really liking the wallpapers this time around. These are fantastic. I like that. That's nice. That one's very calm and very businesslike and to the point. You're not here to look at the wallpaper, you're here to do some work, right? Again, really nice. Really nice. Very calm. Yeah. That's interesting. Interesting. Not so nice. City skyline showing all the pollution and a jet plane and rain clouds. I'm not sure that would be a particularly desirable one to have on there. That's cool as well. I like that. The Greybird wallpaper, the distinctive Greybird wallpapers. That's very nice, very autumny. Nice, we're called Daisy. With a, what's that, some kind of a cricket? That's super nice. Bit steampunk. Now, that is the kind of view I would love to have outside my window. That's gorgeous. That's so lovely. You just imagine walking up there and sitting on the top there and just looking at the world around and having a ponder on life. That's lovely. I like that a lot. I like this a lot as well, in a very sort of cubist abstract style. That's really nice. Really, really, really nice. Oh, very impressive wallpapers. Really impressive wallpapers. I'm sorry I obsess about things like this. Yep. Maturity, they call it. Okay. Maturity original. Okay, so they've made the colours pop a bit better on this one. Nice. Mindscape. No, that just make me feel cold. Sorry, don't like that one particularly. Again, another view I'd love to see from my window. That's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, yeah, I like that. Simplicity is really good. Oh, that makes me think of bubble wrap. I just want to pop it. That's really nice too. You probably can't see it because of my text overlay down there, but yeah, without seeing that, it looks really, really good. Very suitable. It's a bit of a play on the Windows 10 light through the window kind of thing, and even a little bit of maybe dark side of the moon, the light being split by a prism. Well, I don't really know what that is supposed to represent. No, too cold, far too cold. Oh, nice. Oh, wouldn't you love to travel on one of them? Wow, that's beautiful. Oh, wouldn't want to be part of the motor though. Star Chaos. Oh yeah, is that like using the fire visual generator? FYRE. That's nice. But watch your chips. There's a lot of good backgrounds here. A lot of good backgrounds here. That's silly. That's Waterworld, isn't it? Is that from the Costner film, The Waterworld? Nice. Yeah, it's seasonal. It's sort of like early winter, late autumn. But it doesn't look too cold like what that one does. That'd give me chills. I'm obsessing over the wallpapers, but there's a really large amount of them. But we're getting there now. Here's a nice Doug. Nice Doug. Doug's a ace. I think putting the logo there has spoiled the effect of that wallpaper, but otherwise really nice. But I think the one I'm going to go to is maybe that one. Infinity. What a great name for the release as well. I like that. Oh, where's that jug? Or vase or whatever they called it. Can't even find it now. There it is. On the thumbnail it looks a bit like a squirrel. But yeah, no, I'll go with that one. Right. So there's not really much to say about it other than it behaving really well so far. It's got all the doodads. It's got the usual set of tools. MX tools. Where are you there? All the good stuff that you're used to if you've used MX before. All of the good stuff. Like I say, the absolute flawless install. Completely unproblematic. Will update from the beta to the full release. You've got everything. Your live USB maker, snapshot, which is brilliant for creating a live ISO of your running system. That is such a good tool. I think they inherited that from, or developed it in line with Antics as well. You've got your Troop Rescue Scan, your Disk Manager, Job Scheduler, Boot Options, Boot Repair, Disk Cleanup, Samba Config for your network shares, Service Manager, so you can manually enable or disable services. If you've got a little daemon running in the background that you don't particularly want running in the background, you can turn it off there. Your About, your Bash Config, NVIDIA Driver Installer if you've got NVIDIA card. I haven't on this one. Your Conky details. This is your Conky up here. Let's like open that. So here, ooh, that's changed since 23. So you can actually see it over on the right there. I believe it has. Yeah, so you can choose whichever thing that you want. What's this one? No preview image available. Oh dear. Yeah. That's a little bar along the bottom. Yeah, loads of different ones that you could choose if you don't like that one. Okay, nice. Let's close that. Date and time if you've not set it up correctly during the install. Your locale, again, if you've not set it up properly during the install. Your network assistant. Networking's really easy. If you're on Wi-Fi, you just click the looks like the LAN socket normally, but if you're on Wi-Fi, you just click that and it will give you a list of available Wi-Fi settings in your region and vicinity, and you can choose yours, put your password, and it'll get you online nice and quick. Select sound. You're not going to pop up for that? No pop up for that one. Oh, okay. Yes, easily select a default sound card. Well, your system sounds, configure events and session sounds. I think these are all off by default, but obviously audio works fine. Here's your little tour. Explore and learn about MX Linux. Brightness sys tray, if you want brightness in your system tray. MX tweak. Now, this is where I'm going to do what I generally do. Okay, miscellaneous. First thing I do is not this. XFC panel, so you can choose where to put it. It's vertical left, dock like, blah 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 blah. The theme, I'm going to stick with the defaults, which is MX Matcher. For the application themes and the window manager, blah blah blah. You can straight away select dark mode. And where's apply? Apply. Doesn't it normally have apply? Okay. Compositor, XFWM at the moment. Display, hardware backlight, etc. XFCE. Right, there it is. Enable single click on desktop. No thank you. I like to double click. And I like to double click in Thunar as well. Sorry, I know that's the developer's default position is single click to open. I don't like it. I'm too used to double clicking everything. Commands run with the super key. Probably the menu, I would have thought. Does it start it at the minute? It does, so it defaults to the menu anyway, so I don't need to do anything there. Reset light DM to default theme. No, I don't think so. Enable mounting of internal drives by non-root users. Now, when I installed this, I didn't set up a root user, so I am a root user myself on my standard login. You can opt to have a root account as well for doing all the system side stuff like software installations and anything changing to log files and setups and all that malarkey, but there's no real need for that for the everyday user. Enable automatic Debian kernel updates. Yes, that's a really good idea to have that on. Yeah, beautiful, lovely. So I've got my single click back. Have I? Let's try it. See, it selects by hovering. I didn't click apply, did I? Because that's not done anything. Where is the apply button? It's down there, I didn't click it. Me being a fool. Right, let's try that again. Yeah, so it's not selected by hovering anymore. So, yeah, one click to select, two to open. Now that's it. Back in my safe zone again. Okay, so you got your welcome, which is beautiful. Papyrus folder colors. You can change the colors, or choose one from a predefined theme, etc., etc. I see no reason to change that right now. System keyboard fine. User installed. What? User installed. Packages. Okay, I guess if you've used GDebi and things like that. Okay, this app is designed to make it easy to reinstall packages that the user has added to the default installation and retained. It contains two-step, quickly and easily create a list of those packages. Use that list in another location to review and reinstall those packages if still available. Now, there was a way of doing this before, and I think it was a command line thing. So this is probably just a front end to that. I remember doing it way back when I used Linux Mint Fluxbox edition. It was the community edition with Fluxbox, and I absolutely loved that. Not too keen on Fluxbox out of the box. Sorry about the pun. But the theming that they did for the Linux Mint Fluxbox edition, way back, I thought was beautiful. Looked lovely. Like the, what do they call it? They don't call it a panel, do they? I don't know what they call it, but it is a panel. Anyway, I digress. So you've got a Deb installer, you can fix your GPG keys, you've got your package installer, which is legendary. The MX package installer is your little one-stop shop for anything that isn't just a library file or so on. So you can choose from your popular applications the enabled repos, which is fine. You can also choose things from MX test repo, excuse me, I cannot speak today, from Debian backports and flatpaks. Right, so it says MX Linux includes this repository of flatpaks for the user's convenience only and is not responsible for the functionality of the individual flatpaks themselves. For more, consult flatpaks in the wiki. Okay, right. Now, no thanks, don't want any of those, thank you, but not even backports on a non-gaming rig. You might need backports for what, you're about to use the MX test repository. No, I'm not. I was just looking at it. So yeah, enabled repos and popular applications. Most of the stuff you'll ever need is probably in here. It's got everything. Everything. Like, you know, it's got everything. Pulse effects, etc., etc. Nice. Choose a browser straight away from here. I could switch over to Firefox ESR, which I might. It's even got, oh my god, it's even got LibreWolf. Wow. Oh wow. Well, I'll be installing that. No Waterfox though. That's interesting. Waterfox seems to be notoriously difficult to install, but it's well worth it when you do. Stuff for the kiddies, preschool games, etc., primary school games, etc., and secondary. But I like that they've split it into the different like age groups. Nice. So that's all for like learning for the young and the very, very, very young. Desktop environments, you can even change it from XFCE, you can add Mate, you can add LXDE, KDE6 and GNOME if you wish. Development, if you're one of those clever types who know how to use all this stuff, there it is. I'm not one of those. I've been using Linux nearly, let's say 17 years now. 17 years. And I don't do any of that stuff. I've never needed to. You can add a dock, the Cairo dock, and Plank. I haven't seen Cairo dock for ages. Email clients, well, we've got Thunderbird, but I don't think I would ever use that. File managers, if you wish to change out from Thuna, you can do that here. Space FM is really kind of cool. PC Man FM is really cool. Nemo is the old school, used to be, no. It was developed from Nautilus, but it's the one from Cinnamon, yeah. Dolphin is the one from the KDE Plasma, and is arguably one of the best file managers you can get. If you need all the doodads, but most people don't. FTP, FileZilla, and GFTP, multi-threaded FTP client with an easy-to-use GUI. Games, here we go. What games do you get out of the box, by the way? Let's have a look. Yeah, the usual Mahjong, Peggy, and Swellfoop. Oh, this was interesting, I found. Under Office, currently it is the full LibreOffice suite, including Base, which is normally missed out. Interesting to see that's there. And I'm kind of glad, because, I mean, this is what computers used to be for, storing databases of things. And nobody ever seems to use their computer for databasing anymore. Nice. So that's there. Steam straight away. So I do believe it does have the i3H6 architecture from a default install. I guess that's one worth asking. I guess it would get installed along with this though, because you do need 32-bit architecture support for Steam. Icons, you can add more icon sets if you so wish. I tend to leave all that stuff alone now. You can switch to the Liquorix kernel. Requires AHS to be enabled for automatic updates. I don't know. Probably that's just for the AHS install ISO. Extra languages, take your pick, bloody loads. Again, if you didn't select it during install. Media center, so you've got Kodi and Plex. This is like TV and streaming servers. Media converter, handbrake and WinFF. Messaging, yeah, people do that. I get Discord, Finch, Pigeon, Signal desktop client, Slack desktop client, Telegram desktop client, and Zoom. Yeah, well, these would have been worn out and used to bits during the COVID. Under MISC, AppArmor, Google Earth, Pro, Java, and Wine. Under network, all the usual stuff: Air VPN, Blue Man for Bluetooth, Dropbox, Thuna add-in, yeah, loads of stuff just for enhancing the usability of your stuff. Screencast. Now, I've installed OBS Studio for the purposes of doing this video, but you've also got Simple Screen Recorder, and I believe you can get Webcamoid as well, which is another one that I really like, and it's very simple. So yeah, additional themes. But why would you? Do you look all day at the desktop, or do you use it for running software? Yeah, you want it to look pretty, but you're not going to be looking at it for very long. You're going to cover it up with stuff. I do like that. It's very nice. Yeah, so all the usual stuff. You can get the old wallpapers from the previous ones. MX14, 50. That's where I jumped on the bandwagon, by the way. MX14. Because I was sitting there pining for Simply Mapist 11, which I think only got to beta, or maybe it was 12, I'm not sure. So yeah, we've got MX14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23, and MX Foxbox wallpapers. So yeah, the world is your oyster. So, you got your repo manager if you wish to add another repository. Don't do that. Don't do that. Your updater settings, the updater itself, UEFI manager. I like that. What's that do? Okay. Wow. That basically shows all the ones that I've installed and run. MX Linux Zorin was the last one that I did that video on, but it was a bit clunky. Debian, Fedora, Lingmo, Endless, Decuve, Ubuntu, AV Linux, MX back in the day, Vanilla, Tuxedo. I think I must have just had a look at that. No, this isn't mine, because I've never used Alma or OpenSUSE or Rosa on this machine. Okay, so I guess these are just the ones that are signed. Okay, I've waffled on quite long enough. MX25 Infinity Beta 1 seems pretty blooming solid. Didn't expect any different, quite honestly, from the team. They're always really good releases. And it will install to the release version as well. It'll update to that. So it's pretty safe to give a try. It's a nice simple installer, really quick installer, works on secure boot. Mwah, my compliments to the team. This is another diamond. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.